following your work, and giving thanks for it, like from 2020. And I was conscious about the spinning, but now you call it scalar movement, right? So I wanted to go a little bit deeper into that, like why you call it like that. I know that we're the main scalar generators, but I wanted to, if you can explain me why you decided to put that name to the spinning, I would really appreciate it.
Yeah, brother. So with scalar, when I think of scalar, I think that, or I know that it already is, right? The breath already is.
Mm,
The the soul already is, right? As we inhale, it already is, right? And that's what we're quote unquote following. We're following the internal breath as it comes in and following the external breath as it comes out. And those directions in terms of the changes it goes into, it's like in a vacuum space, like just like scalar, just like scalar. Another thing is when we inhale, again, also with the nose, if we cut the nose in half, we see that spiral there too. And with all the scalar devices, most of them, I see that spiral in there with the coils, with the Tesla coils and stuff of that nature. That spiral is also there too. And that's why I call it scalar movement and breath, because of course we're implementing the conscious breath as we move with the scalar, if you will. And also the sun is technically still scalar. The sun is moving. Well, the sun is what we're perceiving is anti-clockwise, but what the sun is actually pushing out is technically clockwise. But what we
mm,
perceive is anti-clockwise. So that's also another reason, another confirmation, if you will, that really made me say like, oh snap, yeah, I'm definitely on the right track. And then when I went to the the temple in China and Hong Kong, I also saw the spiral, and the way they draw the spirals in some of their texts is going to the right, going to the right.
mm.
And then I went to the back where the monks were chanting, and they were all walking clockwise around too, clockwise, 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 clockwise. So that was beautiful, just seeing all these confirmations, all the way to tensor rings, all the way to how tensor rings are made. If you make them in a particular motion, that motion is imprinted into the tensor ring. If you guys are not familiar with tensor rings, Michael has some. He has one on your head. He has one right there. Yeah, that's a tensor ring. Oh, esoteric got one too. Yeah, so they have that spiral motion, so they're twisted in a particular way. And if they're put under GDB imaging, you'll start to see the electrons continuously flow. And that's what we're harmonizing with. We're harmonizing with the perpetual motion that's already happening with the north, but also within as well. And whether we realize it or not, if you're driving somewhere from point A to point B, you may have done so many spins and turns, if you will, and you don't even realize it by the end of the day. So why not spin into the quote unquote right direction? Yeah, I see that. Spin into the right direction and rebalance of what may have been uh, cause an imbalance in terms of the way direction of how we go out in life. You see, that subtle thing I've noticed made a huge impact on on my overall connection with like manifesting and how I perceive certain realities, if you will, because you're spinning into a portal, but it's your own portal, and you're just harmonizing with that and strengthening that more and more, and the cellular integrity, because as you're going in that motion, your eyes is one of the fastest ways to the bloodstream. So as you're going in that motion, it's sending a signal to the eyes and then feedback right into the kidneys, and that's when the blood will start to spin even more and more and more.